Can you imagine if like a television star just like ran for president and then actually
that would be terrible.
Happened? Completely unqualified. Can you imagine?
It feels like it would be an unmitigated disaster on both national and international terms.
I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
There's a chance this podcast episode will never go out.
And action.
And in. Hi. I forgot that we had just discussed this. Hi, welcome to Your Inner Child is an Idiot, the podcast where we look back on things from our childhood and wonder if they were any good to begin with. My name is Damon.
My name is DJ. Welcome,
Hi.
everyone. Welcome to you, Damon, to the podcast. Welcome to hosting a podcast. How do you like it so far?
They say on the 151st try, it gets a lot easier. Hey, Deej.
Yeah.
You know I'm a man of the people.
Yes.
That's why you got no sleeves. Never pick a movie that only I have fond memories of and no one else even remembers, correct? I would never do that.
Of course. Yeah, I can't point to a multitude of episodes of the podcast where you've done that.
I was talking with Tyler over my candidates for what I would bring to the table. Okay. And
I thought you were going to tell us what you were talking over, and I was excited to learn about what meal you had made because you're both.
Oh, we did. We made a delicious. Chefs. It was chicken thighs on a bed of Israeli couscous with apricots and capers.
That sounds delightful. I love it.
It's one of my favorite meals, and I've actually handed it off to a coworker. Hello, Kimmy, and she now makes it and refers to it as Damon's chicken.
Oh,
sorry, wow. Martha Stewart. It's mine now.
It's mine.
You earned it. That's not what we were talking over.
Okay.
We were actually, he was upstairs and I was downstairs and we were talking over the stairwell, which was weird. But I showed him the list of things and he pretty much vetoed everything except for a movie I'm not bringing to the table today.
Okay.
But may in the future, and I reserve that right. But today's movie came out in the late 80s.
Okay.
It stars a beloved icon, possible second only to Dolly Parton in how beloved she is by almost every demographic.
Okay.
And co-stars a woman who is not beloved by half-ish of America and who has since been canceled and has really dug in their heels.
Okay.
It also has Ed Begley Jr. in it.
Is this okay? Is this it's like a Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda? Who am I? I'm trying to find the.
You're thinking of 9 to 5, which was on my list, but is not the movie we're discussing today.
Okay.
Because this person is second only to Dolly Parton. She is not, in fact, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton does not occupy the first two spots.
That's probably why I thought of that. But I was actually thinking of like Jane Fonda. She's not canceled, I guess. Just like
a
strident progressive.
Well, if you ask my father, who would turn into a cartoon with steam coming out of his ears, yes. This person, the beloved one. This would be her third movie we've done on the podcast by my remembrance. And then the canceled one, I believe this would be her first YICIAI entrance. So she'd become a friend of the pod, and it is. It is.
Is this She-Devil?
It is She-Devil.
Oh, wow. How did I pull that out?
How? My first encounter with this movie
I've never seen this.
Going to the movies and seeing, I remember there were posters for Pet Sematary and She-Devil at the movie theater, both of which movies we were not seeing with my family.
Right.
That would be a weird
a weird double feature for sure.
I believe this finally completes the bashing tape that my brother constantly talked about. We've watched War of the Roses. We've watched Heathers. The third movie on that tape, sandwiched betwixt the two, was She-Devil.
What, bashing? What is?
Yeah, because the first two movies were marriage bashing, and Heathers was friends bashing.
And this one is
marriage bashing.
Marriage bashing. Okay. Interesting.
Have you ever seen this movie? Did I foist this upon you when we were roommates?
I've never seen this. I don't think.
I'm a famous movie foister, so
yeah,
I understand.
There was plenty that were foisted. Usually with very little convincing.
Very little pushback.
Yeah, but I don't think this one. I can say probably a fair amount about my memories of Roseanne just as a figure, but not really about this movie. I have nothing. I know she has got like a weird haircut and a weird mole in this one, right? That's something.
Yes. I think she has like a almost not set crimp going on in the first half of the movie. And she has a large mole on the side of her face for a good portion of the movie. Who
is the beloved figure?
That would be our Ed Begley Jr.
Oh, Ed Begley. Okay. Yeah. Even though he's famously, Earth conscious, you would think he would get more pushback. Everybody's like, he's fine. This one's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he were more famous, he would get more pushback. You know what I mean?
Probably.
No slight to him. He's had a career that I appreciate. After Catherine O'Hara died, we watched A Mighty Wind and Best in Show at our home. I don't know how you observed her life, but he's in both of those and is delightful in both.
Yeah.
In Mighty Wind, he plays like a Swedish guy who keeps dropping Yiddish in casual conversation. Yeah. It's very distracting. Delightful.
He's the bedeviled character?
Yeah, he is the husband. He is married to Roseanne Barr, and he starts having an affair with Meryl Streep, who is a romance novelist, very much modeled after Danielle Steele. Pink, like pale pinks everywhere throughout her house. Lots of satins and silks.
That's just good design.
This is the movie this and Death Becomes Her like convinced me that, I love Meryl Streep because she goes into these roles with the same commitment as she would for a dramatic role. She's having just as much fun playing a Danielle Steele type as she is playing, I don't know, Margaret Thatcher.
One of those rare actors who goes, you know what? I'll still try.
I don't care how much they're paying me. I'll still try.
I've agreed to do this, so I'll do it.
I guess it's in my contract, so they could sue me if I didn't.
Now, where does this movie fall in relation to the TV show Roseanne, and more importantly, in relation to the national anthem? And
I believe this is pre-butchering of the national anthem. Thank you for asking. It is post like the Roseanne TV show.
Post that beginning, at least. Probably still happening.
It's not post completely, but it's like after that movie had started, or the show had started and been a hit. But I'm trying to think, like, I don't know if Roseanne did she ever have a movie hit? I don't know what, I mean, if anything, I imagine this was a moderate hit. I can't imagine this was a big hit.
Yeah. What else was, I can't even think of other movies that she was in. I'm sure there are others.
She was in Home on the Range, Disney's Home on the Range.
That's what I was thinking.
Where they were all cows. Yeah.
I definitely know that one. What Roseanne was so, like, the show was so, it's funny you think of, or at least I do sometimes when you think of actually like, what have they been up to? And I'm like, I mean, kind of working a lot on this one show that is filming probably every day for a season and then, gets a break. I'm not saying
that was the thing with Michael J. Fox on Back to the Future is that he had to film at night because he was filming all week on Family Ties. So I imagine you are swamped aside from like the 3 months of the summer where you're not filming.
Yes, especially sitcoms of this era, which actually had 22
episodes. It's ludicrous.
Yeah. What finally canceled her? I can't remember because she was trying for a while to be extra. She went full MAGA, right wing, whatever, and was just kind of saying whatever. And then something finally happened, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, I remember she had made some like she had. There was a small minor dust up where Bill Clinton talked to Valerie Jarrett on a plane tarmac, like had a conversation with her when Valerie Jarrett of the Obama administration was supposed to be investigating Hillary. And so there was kind of a dust up there. And I think in response, Roseanne called Valerie Jarrett a monkey.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not pleasant.
And then she had been in the reprise of Roseanne was canceled like right after, or she got
right, exactly.
Yeah,
and there was like a new. Well, actually, I'm trying to think. Is that true?
I think
that timeline doesn't even match up because I feel like the resurrection of Roseanne was during the Trump administration, the first Trump administration. So that would have been after Valerie Jarrett and all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to look that up
There's something missing. I think there is the Valerie Jarrett thing, and maybe could there have been a half-assed apology on that?
You know that she probably tried or did the classic double down. You know,
well, that seems to be the MAGA thing. Like never apologize, never back down. If you say a racial slur, just say everyone's just too sensitive these days.
It's true. We'll do our patented deep research on this. Bring that because this is the portion of the show where we know even less about what's going on. Watch She-Devil along with us, and we'll talk about it.
Please,
come on back. Watch it. Come on back.
Come on, we'll leave the light on for you. We've been recording from a Motel 6.
Classic Roseanne catchphrase. Come on back. No,
go on now. Go on.
Get.
She's from Chicago. There's no reason that anyone will be doing this accent.
Do you want to try out your Roseanne voice as we fade out here?
Darlene.
DJ.
Dan. Your DJ from the show. What the hell did you just say?
What the fuck did you just say to me?
What the hell does that mean?
If you were a devil walking among us,
what gender devil?
She-Devil, or her story.
They devil.
I was trying to come up with a pun, and I thought one would come to me, and it didn't.
You can call me they devil.
I think.
And what was the question?
I hadn't gotten to it yet, but I think the devil version of this is a podcast that's all ads. They just never quite get to
30 seconds of recapping an old movie from your childhood.
It's just all caveats. And like, so I went, and when I say that I went, I didn't go. So normally when I say that, it's just a bunch of preamble. They don't actually say anything.
What if it was a podcast
our
where...
podcast.
I was going to say, what if it's the podcast where a really frenetically loud person just keeps talking over you? To talk about his pen sometimes. My pen!
I can't believe I didn't make fun of you. My point is, this is not that podcast because we're listener supported. Patreon.com/yourinachild'sanidiot. And
it's pretty much PBS over here.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, we've also gotten our funding cut, so help us out. And
on Sundays, we play Keeping Up Appearances, that delightful comedy of errors from the BBC.
And if you're stupid, you could consider us educational.
Anything's educational if you're stupid. Based on the time we live in, that seems to be the case.
Who is my friend?
I think I'm going to get my politics from an MMA fighter who is the 7th funniest person on news radio.
Patreon.com/
Spotify, sponsor us.
Maybe we could pick something else. Patreon.com/yourinachild'sanidiot.
Yeah. Hey.
GOP, we'll take your money. No, we won't. How much money are we talking?
I keep forgetting the morality clause of
you
this
signed
podcast.
it.
You made me sign this morality clause.
Damon, would you please recap She-Devil 1989?
Yeah. Be confident in yourself. You're doing great.
It never pans out.
Thank you for asking. She-Devil 1989.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just typing in something unrelated. I'm just asking ChatGPT to sum this movie up for me.
You didn't watch this, did you?
Don't need to. I can recite it from memory.
Okay. Fair enough.
This is directed by Susan Seidelman, based on a novel by Faye Weldon, which I did read in my 20s. This is the story of Ruth Patchett. She's married to Bob Patchett, a small-time accountant as our story begins, they are going to a highfalutin party where Bob is hoping to network with some equally highfalutin potential clients.
Why is this falutin
and they
so high? I said, why is this falutin so high? Sorry.
Bring it down 20,000 feet, please.
I was trying to help and I impeded. I'm sorry. Please
you hindered, in fact. I
hindered.
One might even say. They bump into famous romance novelist Mary Fisher, who lives in a castle by the sea in Long Island.
Star Wars.
And Ruth is a big fan of her books, recognizes her on sight.
Yeah.
And she spills her wine on her. And while she's going to get some Perrier and some baking soda to sop up the stain, Bob starts flirting with Mary Fisher, and she starts flirting back. And Bob drives Mary Fisher home, and they have a torrid love affair. Ruth is aware of this almost immediately, and decides she needs to win.
Slick about it.
Yeah, he's not the smoothest operator. And I did take the cadence of Sade. I just wanted to say he's not the smoothest operator.
Smooth. He's not the smooth operator.
Anyway, she tries to win him back with cream and mushroom soup and cheese and crackers and little clam biscuits that she accidentally burns. But that is a catastrophe, and he leaves her with the kids. But while he's packing up his things, he lists 4 things that he thinks of as his assets. Number 1, his home. Number 2, his family. Number 3, his career. And number 4, his freedom. But when it comes to liabilities, he only has one, and that's you, Ruth. You're not even a woman anymore. You're a she-devil.
Wow.
So Ruth, like any reasonable person, decides to make a list of these things he conveniently listed as he was leaving and decides to destroy each and every one of them. Charming. She blows up the home, drops the kids off at Bob's. No one's there, and she lets the dog out of the house as Tyler was on his phone and he missed that Fuzzy leaves the house. They pack up, and she drives the kids and Fuzzy to Mary Fisher's love nest, drops them off. And then she goes about creating a new name for herself, Vesta Rose. She starts working at the retirement home where Mary Fisher's mother lives and is consistently sedated by the staff. She unsedates her. Predates?
I think predates, yes, for sure. Yeah.
And makes an ally with Hooper, the senior staff member there at the retirement facility. She finds out that Hooper has quite a nest egg she's built up because she doesn't have any expenditures. Ruth, aka Vesta, frames Mary Fisher's mother for incontinence, which is a no-no at this facility, which means that Mary Fisher's got her mom at her house constantly now. So that is slowly driving Mary Fisher insane because she has 2 kids that don't respect her.
Kids as well.
Yeah, she's got a dog that is not her dog that may have been involved in killing of her own ma petite Julie, whatever that dog's name was. And so she's slowly going insane. And then Hooper and Ruth, they form a women's employment agency called Vesta Rose, where they start hiring women out that society has forgotten. And they hire one secretary out to Bob's accounting firm, who is very voluptuous and sweet, but a little looking to date and seduce, marry rich men. And so they, anyway, blah, blah, blah. They eventually Bob's already sort of stealing from his clients, as we find out from that secretary. The classic Superman 3 scheme.
Yep.
And
round up the pennies.
They sort of make his stealing a little bit more apparent so that he is sent to jail for fraud. And so he's lost all 4 things now.
All of his assets.
And Mary Fisher also leaves him when she realizes he's having an affair with his secretary, and she starts writing more well-regarded books rather than the romance
docu-novel.
dreck a docu-novel of love, money, and skepticism. That's Sally Jesse Raphael refers to it as. And Bob goes to prison for 18 months, and that's the end. Now she has an army of women to do her bidding, and she's a she-devil. And her eyes literally glow. I always forget that little bit in the movie, that her eyes literally glow. I'm like, I'm sorry, is she a literal devil now?
Yeah, and then they start play Elvis, Devil in Disguise, and we're like, wait, we introduced a lot of lore at the end of the movie here.
Right, big lore dump at the end, setting up the sequel. She-devil too, she's still deviling.
I think what's surprising about this is, despite
that was a pretty good recap.
One of your middlest.
We're grading on a curve, though.
One of the middlingest.
Right in that meaty part of the curve.
One of the surprising things is not, despite what the movie would have you believe that she's actually a she-devil at the end, it's kind of more of a vigilante story, which was not what I was expecting. I was expecting to be way less on her side about this whole thing.
I was surprised when you said, I'm on Ruth's side here. I'm like, oh, it's no debate.
Yeah.
I thought to myself.
Well, it's she-devil, but I guess, that's his words. But, I guess from all the advertisements and, they make her seem very off-putting. And Roseanne is kind of, that's her shtick anyway.
She does have they've given her a big mole, and her hair was not so great. And she also, the movie doesn't stop dunking on Roseanne for her weight, especially in the first third of the movie, which is maybe... Actually, Deej, would you like to come with me into the problematic corner, please? Let's just get this all out of the way.
Let's get into that problematic corner.
Let's come on.
Watch out now, y'all. Let them know.
Love the bass. Thank you, Jackson.
Thank you, Jackson. Let's talk about problems. First off, we were pretty on the nose with Roseanne's downfall.
Okay.
She did refer to Black Attorney General? I think Attorney General. I looked this up right before we started and then immediately... Senior Advisor, Valerie Jarrett, Senior Advisor to President Obama, who is Black. She referred to her in a term that she would call her a monkey. And she did apologize for that, but she still was fired from the reboot of Roseanne. And then it was reconfigured as the Connors. And then that's when her descent into right-wing politics really took hold. Although she was sort of on the fringes already, she was in the Green Party. She had run for president as a Green candidate.
Roseanne did?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't remember that.
I think somewhere in the 2008 Michigas, Roseanne was in the mix.
Can you imagine if a television star just ran for president and then actually
that would be terrible.
Happened? Completely unqualified. Can you imagine?
It feels like it would be an unmitigated disaster on both national and international terms.
I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
There's a chance this podcast episode will never go out. We're right in the middle of the Strait of Hormuz, everyone, just to put you in a time and place. We're not physically there, but...
I was like, are you?
Time-wise.
What a great...
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the Strait of Hormuz.
What a great Zoom background you've got. And she did that, my favorite thing, which makes a lot of sense. I'm sure we've made fun of on this podcast multiple times, which is, you called me racist, so therefore I will lean into that. If you're going to call me that anyway, if you're going to call me that anyway, I might as well if you're going to call me just a completely unrepentant dirtbag, I might as well be an unrepentant dirtbag.
Absolutely. It makes sense to me. Why? I like that she apologized, but still dug in. And then I like to add insult to injury, even after she apologized, Susan Rice, another figure from the Obama White House who's also Black, retweeted an old tweet of Roseanne's where she made a similar comment about her having the balls of a simian animal. So she seems like a real great lady. Which is really kind of, If you know anything, I mean, I watched Roseanne, the sitcom, as a kid.
Yeah.
I really loved that sitcom. And it's still like, when I've caught old episodes, it's still one of the great sitcoms of all time, in my opinion. And it's really heartbreaking because she was really at the fore of progressive politics in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
In terms of like presenting things that typically weren't on TV. You know, she had Sandra Bernhard as a regular cast member who was a bisexual. Her character was bisexual, as well as Sandra Bernhard is bisexual. First lesbian kiss was on Roseanne. It was a big deal. I don't know if it was the first lesbian kiss. Craig, can you check that for me? But I mean, it was a lesbian kiss on primetime television. There was a like, viewer discretion is advised right beforehand.
Right now, coming up after Home Improvement,
followed by Home Improvement doing stuff. Don't worry about it. Don't even have to think. And it's sort of heartbreaking. It sort of mirrors J.K. Rowling a little bit in that she was a progressive voice and then just decided, like, no, on this thing, I will not be moved. Roseanne also has very turfy politics, I'll add.
Yeah, and
so
also I feel like
really
just like zooming out one notch, like, and not to get, this is not a politics podcast, but also like it shows the sort of success that conservative politics had in converting kind of the blue collar presenting folks as like, hey, we're on your side, and we're like, in what way, in what universe? But
we mean in the way that you can say racist things and we won't look at you twice. But I mean, we're still going to lower the taxes of your
We're not going to support you in any way, politically, like as far as policy goes at all. We're not going to support your unions.
Y'all still good on $7.25 an hour then?
We're not going to get you health care. We're not going to, support the minimum wage hike. We're not going to do any of that. But we will really dig into the identity politics and
I mean, cancel culture.
Right. And for whatever, like not to get into the nuts and bolts of that, but I mean, like truly successful. And I feel like she kind of shadows that, you know what I mean? Like shows that, cause like that was her, even though she's a millionaire and was at the time too, just from being a TV star, but like that was like who she was representing. Like, hey, we're just like blue collar family living a normal life and like living in a progressive area. Cause what are they? Chicago? Is that right?
In Roseanne?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was suburbs of Chicago. Yeah.
Anyway, it's a really good job on converting all those people, I guess.
Well, like in the same vein, there was a guy, and now I tried to look up his name and I can't readily get it, but he was a sort of comic guy, and he used to do like interviews with drunk people on like spring break, and it was just like he would ask them political questions, and they, of course,
Billy on the street,
their mind. And he got semi-canceled. He was, some women came forward and said like there was some, I can't remember the actual allegations, so I won't repeat them, but some consent issues. And he, to his credit, I guess, he said, yeah, this happened, and, it was really shitty of me to do, and apologized. But he has since done like interviews since that incident came forward, and he was like, the first call I got after those allegations came out was from InfoWars. They like called me immediately and wanted to give me a job. Like immediately, like there is like now a cancellation to right-wing pipeline set up for you. Yeah. And I'm sure that's where Russell Brand was like, oh, allegations. Well, I just decided I'm a conservative Christian now and super right-wing. It's kind of disgusting.
Yeah. Also, while we're talking about the movie in the problematic corner.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's really mostly the fat shaming. I feel like is the most egregious thing. A lot of fat
jokes in this.
There's other things that are problematic as far as the character, but those are like Bob is not a good guy. So him being misogynistic and a philanderer or whatever doesn't belong in the problematic corner, because that's like, he's an asshole. He's the villain of the
And her
film,
revenge on her is the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there are a lot of implied and explicit fat jokes. And there's part of me that's like, some of them I feel like are showing off that Bob is an asshole. Like at one point, he's showering before, on that last big, dinner they're hosting when their marriage finally falls apart. And she startles him in the shower, and she's like, I'm just coming in to weigh myself. And he's like, oh, no wonder you're in a bad mood. I'm like, that's just like Bob being an asshole. But like, there's another scene where she's like reading in bed, waiting for him to come home from Mary Fisher's. And like, there's an open box of Dunkin' Donuts that she has by her bedside table. And like, she takes a bite out of one. I'm like, oh, come on, guys. That feels more of a joke on her than the other one. There's a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. And there's this, like, she is kind of forced to be. All right, let's get out of the corner. I feel like we've covered what needs to belong in the corner. Kick it.
Watch out now, y'all.
This, I imagine
we
now.
Swim out of the problematic corner now?
No, that was a bead curtain.
Okay.
It's like, it's the naughty section at the video store, in the back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The only thing keeping this place afloat.
I want to talk about Ruth for a second, because she is
the protagonist of the movie.
Yeah, she's kind of, I would say, even though you end up kind of rooting her, she's got like more of a loser vibe. You know what I mean? She is kind of,
she's much meeker than like Roseanne Connor
that's the word.
The Roseanne show.
Yeah, she's kind of a passive. She feels like she's been kind of thrust into this housewife role, and she's not a particularly good cook. And we see that she accidentally cooks the gerbil, which, I mean, I'm not sure how that happened, but
gerbils love cream and mushroom soup. So I mean, it's just put it together, Dage.
Yeah, her breakfast of 7 cut oranges looked great that she serves at one point.
I did notice. I've never noticed that before, but I'm like, why are there so many halved oranges all over the?
It's a lot of oranges for one breakfast. You want to keep some of those.
4 of you.
And she's klutzy. She like trips and all this kind of stuff. At one point, she spills the whole dinner on the floor and all this kind of stuff. She burns things and whatever. But it's like, I'm not sure. Yeah, we're introduced to her, or not introduced to her, but when she bumps into Mary Fisher, she literally bumps into Mary Fisher and spills her drink on her. It's really like she is a klutz and meek and sort of downtrodden in a way that Roseanne Connor is not. Yeah, and she like the beginning of the movie, she's really excited because they're going to go out to this what is it? Like, not even a party. It's like I guess it is a party. It's like it's
at the Guggenheim.
Oh, that's right. It does end up being a lot fancier because he downplays it, but I'm like, this is pretty fucking fancy. Like,
because he doesn't want her to come.
But he doesn't want her to come. So, and she's very excited. She's like getting her makeup done so that she can go. And so like her transformation from that into kind of, at first it's interesting how she explains the sort of revenge, because it's to get him back. And what's funny is like, that's exactly what happens at the end.
Sort of. I mean, do you think she gets him? I mean, I guess that's implied.
Yeah.
Because, he does offer to like cook them all food. In my head canon, she seems kind of aloof when he offers to cook dinner. So there's part of me that's hoping like, you don't need him anymore.
Yeah.
Now I will say she does seem kind of aloof. Maybe my biggest criticism of the film is that I don't think, even though Roseanne is fantastic on Roseanne, all her faults aside, she seems like out of her depth in this movie. She seems really stiff. And maybe it's because even though her character on paper seems like it would be like in that same wheelhouse as Roseanne Connor, it's a different type of character in that she is so meek and downtrodden, which I would never describe Roseanne Connor, even though she's also, she's on the lower end of the middle class and sort of, but she stands her ground. She has like, she's funny and she's sarcastic and she's not afraid to stick up for herself. Whereas Ruth Patchett in this is not that. And then when the conversion happens, like throughout the movie, she becomes this much more self-assured person with a support network and all this stuff. Then she's like in another realm where now she is self-assured, but she's also like above it all. She's like, I'm successful and
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
To do things on my own.
I'm not sure I know where the line is between the sort of aloof, a little bit out of it, a little bit kind of flighty Ruth, or the later, like you explained, the Ruth who's kind of like self-actualized a little bit more, whatever. I'm not sure where the line between those things and sort of the lack of acting skill that Roseanne, I like Ruth a lot more than Roseanne in this movie. Like I enjoy the character. I'm kind of seeing it on the page a little bit more and being like, okay, I see what's happening here and I'm enjoying it. Roseanne herself doesn't really have the charisma to carry this movie, but luckily she's across from Meryl, like literally the most charismatic actress of all time. And then Ed Begley, who's doing a great job in this movie, I think, just being a total asswipe. And so like, if she had been just like, if it had been Meryl Streep in that role, for example,
which was actually the original plan.
Was the original plan. And I think that would have been amazing, of course. I mean, that's not fair to Roseanne to like compare it to Meryl, but like at the same time, it's like she doesn't really, you have to imply a lot of things. And some of it's not a complicated movie, so it's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I think this sort of shows you the difference of like maybe why there weren't a lot of other Roseanne vehicles.
Yeah, it is funny. When I was still trying to think of some. I didn't look it up, but I was like, what other Roseanne movies? But maybe this was still that time when it's like there are TV stars and there's movie stars, and honey, you're a TV star.
Well, apparently this was a first like comedy thing for Meryl Streep too. People were like, I don't think she can pull this off, obviously, in retrospect.
Imagine people saying that.
Oh yeah, look who's talking too. But she was a voice in that one.
Yeah, I am 100% on your side on that. That is a great way of phrasing it. Like, I see what the movie is doing, and I'm able to like round up like Roseanne's performance into Roseanne, like I got what you're trying to do.
Round up Roseanne's talent and you put it in your own interest-bearing savings account.
Now, is that a Roth IRA or just a standard IRA? Because I don't want to pay taxes on my Roseanne talent when I retire. Yeah, that's fantastic. I 100% agree. How did you feel about just the general machinations and scheming and
it took me a second to get on board because it felt like a jump a little bit at first where we kind of went to, because it was similar to real life Roseanne when he's like, he calls her a she-devil, so she's like, oh, you think I'm a she-devil, therefore I will be a she-devil. This is what I think.
And then she goes on Sean Hannity and explains why she isn't actually a she-devil, but you know, she does the she-devil stuff to really get under the liberal skin.
Just to make them mad. And by the way, I have commemorative she-devil stamps that you can buy and a coin and cryptocurrency, apparently. So yeah, and
the S in she is a $sign. That's the coin you buy.
I really like she's like a vigilante superhero. Like in this movie, she like it starts with blowing up her house, which obviously is more on the vigilante side, right?
Delightful.
But no one's there. It's destruction of property. It's her property. She like it kind of gives her like, okay, you think this stuff doesn't matter, so I will blow it up. You know, like I'll blow up your house, or you're treating me like this doesn't matter, or like she says she really loves her kids, but then she's like, okay, well, this is what it's like to take care of your kids. I don't know about that. I'm going to talk about that in a second because we
can talk about these fucking kids.
Yeah, because she drops the kids off, and then that's like okay, now you have to take care of them, and then she destroys his business. But he was already like this, like you said, it's not like she made up these allegations and framed him, which would be the she-devil thing. This is like, he was already doing this. And honestly, they probably should have just reported that, but they made it more obvious. They transferred $200,000 to some account or whatever. And also he was stealing thousands of dollars from Mary as well. Yeah. Yeah. And then
robots don't have Swiss bank accounts, Bob.
And she finds out, we're going to get to Meryl, don't worry. And then we find out later.
We will.
We find out later, or then as you mentioned, she like forms her own, like a legitimate staffing agency, temp agency, like
where she's like helping women who have been like left behind. We see people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we meet that adorable woman who it's implied like her husband left her, and she's like, I used to do my husband's bookkeeping, and she's like, see, I can get you a job for that. Come in tomorrow and we'll have a thing for you. And it's like she's giving this woman an actual job that pays off later. But the women in the who are like being introduced, like in the waiting room in the lobby, they all look like down and out women. And it's like, this is kind of awesome.
And
that she's helping all these actually downtrodden women.
You're going to love this. Reminds me a bit of The Count of Monte Cristo and V for Vendetta. She plays a long game. Like this, I don't know how long this is supposed to take place in the movie, but it's got to be years, right? Of her like building sort of, she like moves to the city.
Yeah.
Rents an office building, has pretty decent logo. And like, you know, and advertise.
Not to mention she has like the
ticker-tays the whole city. Yeah,
she has the rose pins, and Tyler, when he saw those, like, those are going for a pretty penny if you're giving that to every employee or staffing agency.
Brooch, man.
But it also like it is this insignia of how she's like sort of like spread her tentacles throughout everyone. Like the stenographer in the courtroom also has the rose pin. Of course, I mean, the woman who did the bookkeeping works in the courthouse and is able to switch out who's presiding over Bob's trial. I really liked that move. Delightful.
Because he's got this dickhead white shoe lawyer or whatever, and he's like, oh, this one, he like takes it super easy on white collar crime. We'll go to dinner. They're talking about where they're going to go to dinner.
Got the line. It's my favorite. Judge Phillips tends to be considerate towards white collar criminals. I was like, fuck all y'all.
I feel like that's a more advanced way of screwing over Bob than I would have expected from a movie like this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and they just switch the judge to a judge. And of course, this is like a black woman who just comes in, no nonsense. It's just like, you stole from people. You're going to jail and paying them back. Like,
I mean, I think it's also telling, like, the minute she walks in, they know it's up, even though Bob doesn't know who the fuck Judge Phillips is. Yeah. It's a black woman. It's like immediately telling, like, oh, this woman's not going to be considerate towards white-collar criminals, perhaps. Would you like to talk about the children? We're getting through all the courses before we get to the main course, which is Mary Fisher. These kids suck. I have a note here. These kids suck.
They do suck. Go ahead.
But what would I say? I do love that they're in on the fact that Bob is cheating. Like when Roseanne...
they notice immediately.
When Roseanne is like trying to plan this big meal to win him back, Nicolette, the older daughter, is like reading the Cosmo articles to her.
Yeah.
With a sexy cream of mushroom soup.
When they're like, he likes, or they're like, we don't even like this. And she's like, well, your father likes this, you know. What are their names? I was trying to find.
These kids do suck. And the minute they go to Mary Fisher's, they suck even more.
Oh, yeah.
There's a few clips. Like, there's a few like little like moments of Ruth. Like, I think she looks at a family photo where she's blinking in it, of course, not to continue the slow negging of Ruth Patchett. But she looks at it and cries. I'm like, girl, don't worry about them. These kids all fucking blow. Because they're rude to Mary immediately. Somewhat understandably, but...
Yeah.
Like the kid, Andrew,
Andy
wants
and
a satellite dish. Nicolette keeps stealing Mary's clothes and listening to music loudly. And then eventually, I forgot to mention this in the problematic corner, but dances with Garcia. And Tyler was like...
Yeah, the butler.
She's like 15, right? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Really, really grinding at one point.
I mean, her legs are wrapped around. He is just basically carrying her by the butt.
Gross.
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
Like, Garcia, go meet some ladies. 18 plus ladies, I'm sure would love you. So, Bob, you said Ed Begley Jr. is a real asshat. You didn't say asshat, but I just like the term asshat.
I implied asshat. Yeah, it was an
implied asshat. If you look between the lines, you'll see that DJ was actually insinuating that Bob Patchett was an asshat.
It's an understood asshat from grammar. I think
footnote, in some translations, this is read as asshat.
This actually happens in real life, so this is not necessarily a knock on the movie, but you watch this and you're like, why are all these women throwing themselves at Ed Begley Jr.? I mean, he's like fit and like has a job. And of course, later he's rich, but he's only rich because of Mary. But like, why does Mary, it's not like he's, 90s Brad Pitt or Ryan Gosling or something. He's like an attractive enough man.
He's late 80s Ed Begley Jr. though. Sane Elsewhere, I think. I think that's what he was in.
But like, and he's also just kind of like immediately thrusts Mary into like the the housewife role. Like the kids come in, so he's like, well, obviously you're going to watch, even though like, she's like a millionaire and he's an accountant.
100%. Yes.
And then later he just like philanders very easily on her with the secretary. He doesn't even really think twice about it. Mm-hmm. And then
he's even when he's telling her like, you're their stepmother, you gotta blah, blah, blah. He's like giving her this pep talk while he's in traffic. Like, I fucking some lady in the next car over. He's a fucking slimeball. Even at the beginning, like the first time we see him on camera, he is staring at his secretary's tits there.
Yeah.
Like his initial secretary when he was still a lowly accountant before he became a business manager.
My favorite recurring bit is that he like, he's not a very good driver and like keeps, especially when he's taking Mary home. At first he like hits the brakes very suddenly, like a bunch of times. And it only happens, I think, maybe 3 or 4 times in the whole movie. But every time, I was like, that's funny. He's just like...
I didn't even notice that he's doing that.
Yeah. I don't know if that was
delightful.
Just a little physical bit or if it's supposed to say something about him. But he's just like... Yeah. But it is supposed to be like a love at first sight kind of thing, I think, with Mary when they see each other at the party.
The eyes, the misty eyes.
Yeah. I think Ed Begley does a good job. Like, I think he's a prick. I hate him. I want
He's
him
already
to
stealing
lose.
from his clients, which is an addition. I think in the book, they completely frame him for stealing from his clients.
Oh,
it is a complete frame up. In this, they make him like he's already sort of skimming, and they decide, do you notice that the client he stole from was Jackie Collins? Like he's representing other romance novelists.
Yeah.
Probably Mary's friends, no doubt.
Bob. Oh, Bob.
In the book, he's called Bobo, which I could never get over. I was like, why?
Like, that's his full name?
Bobo? Like, yeah, he's constantly referred to as Bobo.
I don't like that.
B-O-B-B-O.
We need to talk about Linda Hunt. We need to talk about...
God, fucking Linda Hunt. One of my favorite Linda Hunt memories.
Hooper.
I was at a party, a mutual friend's party, and our other mutual friend, Shay, was in the other room. And he turned around and he said, hey, Damon, knowing I would know. He goes, hey, Damon, who's that really short actress? And she's like on one of those NCIS shows. And I said, Linda Hunt? And he said, Linda Hunt. And then went back to whatever he was talking about.
Linda Hunt has
I always think about the fact that I can identify Linda Hunt from some vague description as that.
I think this could be just from my experience, but she has very like 8th grade English teacher energy, you know?
Yeah.
That's like the vibe of Linda Hunt. But I like her character.
At the age when the kids are starting to like it, they can sort of look down on her. Literally, because they're starting to get tall enough. Absolutely 8th grade teacher. No nonsense, but would let the little gay kids, draw during
You can
lunch
have
period.
lunch in here. That's fine.
Linda Hunt, queer woman, and one of the, I think the only person, get ready for this, the only actress to have won an Oscar for playing a cisgendered person of the opposite sex in a movie. In the movie The Year of Living Dangerously, she plays a man.
Okay.
Now, this probably also could have been in the problematic corner, although it's not specific about this movie. She plays a Chinese-American man, or Chinese-Australian man. I don't think aside from dyeing her hair black, I don't think there's any race-changing makeup, but still problematic. And it's just this weird little...
I recognize that. I just looked up a photo. I'm seeing... I have seen this, not this movie, but I have seen this, a still from this movie before.
Yeah. I've never seen this movie either, but she won her Oscar for it.
Huh. Okay.
Before this, in like 84.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, just a little bit of trivia. Just a fun little fact right there.
Now,
Linda Hunt is delightful. She has 8th grade teacher energy. She's very like by the book. I will have a slew of quotes, but one of me and my brother's favorite quotes from this is, how's your lunch, Hooper? Adequate, thank you. Describing something as adequate is funny to me.
It is good.
She provides all the pills to sedate the retirees.
The opposite of kid. Yeah.
The least like kids that we have, actually. And eventually wises up to the fact that Vesta Rose, aka Ruth Batchett, is giving them stimulants now, and all the old people are, being sassy and rude and playing soccer in the front yard.
Generally enjoying life.
But their sort of friendship burgeoning, which happens really over the course of one scene, is actually, I think, very sweet, because Hooper is sort of almost like a religious ascetic. She does not spend money on herself. Her lunch looks very sad. And then Vesta gets like this box down of baked goods and starts eating it. And then like Hooper sees it and starts eating all these delicious baked goods with her. And they
I think there's Petit Four in there.
Love a Petit Four. And those Italian, they call them Italian cookies, but they look like cake, and they have like the green, red, and yellow.
Colors.
And every time I see them at bakeries, I'm like, the She-Devil cake.
She-Devil cake. Yeah, she doesn't get a ton to do in this movie, but she is a very pivotal character, because she's like her investor for the...
right, exactly. And she becomes the face of Vesta Rose, so that Ruth never has to be on television. You never see Vesta Rose.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Great.
We're going to talk about the woman who's Mrs. Trumper. Who...
We can talk about Mrs. Trumper and the eldest Mrs. Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Mrs. Trumper, she's just a character actress. Like, I knew her from this, and so every time she would pop up in an episode of The Golden Girls or, Diagnosis Murder,
Wilson.
I'm like, Mrs. Trumper.
Yeah.
Do you want to say your favorite line from Mrs. Trumper, even though I've already referenced it in my recap?
She can tell, you can tell that she's like especially upset by this when she's like if there's like one rule, I don't remember how she says it, but she's like, there's one rule and you gotta like, don't let them wet the bed. And then she's like, wet the bed. And she's like, incontinence. Like the way she says it.
She freezes, turns around and says, incontinence.
Yeah. Just like gross her out to no end. And it's like her one rule. And that's the one reason that Mrs. Fisher gets kicked out. And I mean, that's a fair rule. Also,
I guess so. But I mean, when you're dealing with older people, your bladder integrity ain't what it used to be.
I know, but like, don't let them rest in filth is a good idea.
That is actually a pretty good rule.
I don't think she's saying, well, I'm never going to let them be incontinent. She's saying immediately clean it up and change their sheets, which is a great policy, actually. She doesn't phrase it that way. The character is clearly just like... 60
Minutes investigating Shady Pines or whatever. No, not Golden Twilight. Shady Pines.
I mean, they definitely should because they're sedating all the guests.
Right, I forgot about the other morally gray thing. Absolutely. Mrs. Trumper is a charming woman in that she's mean.
Yeah.
I do love when she calls Mary Fisher and she's like, she doesn't need medical attention. She needs TLC. And Mary's like, what is that, a new
TLC?
drug? And she's like, tender loving care, which I imagine you would, as her daughter, can provide. Let's talk about, so Sylvia Miles also plays the elder Mrs. Fisher.
Yes.
Is just, I think I texted you while I was watching her do stuff, but I texted you at one point that my favorite thing about this movie is that everyone's fucking nuts.
Yes.
And Mrs. Mary's mom is a very brash, outspoken woman and sort of pops the bubble that Mary is like this very,
prim and proper and
and very wealthy and elite woman, as eventually the Mrs. What, I don't even know her name.
I think it's just Mrs. Fisher on there.
The elder Miss Fisher.
Yeah.
Gets cornered by a People magazine person who's doing a fluff piece on Mary. It reveals that that Mary had a kid at a young age that gave it up for adoption, and her father was a kosher butcher from Hoboken, a lovely man.
Yeah, I feel like in a different movie she would have had.
She couldn't get enough.
In a different movie, she would have had funnier lines, more to do. But I liked her as a character. I thought she was enjoyable, and it was fun to see like as like a piece of the sort of crumbling life. It was great, just like the pressure of having her around. You could see why Mary
keeps her in
living in her house.
It's French for
whether
dog
that's right
puke.
or not.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Meryl. Let's get to Meryl.
Does Meryl do a good job acting in this movie, do you think?
I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, and I don't care who I upset. Meryl Streep is a good actress.
This is your Subway take.
Yeah. She's a good actress, and she's good at acting. And is this her best role ever? No, but I love her so much. She is just sort of flouncing all over the place. And I love this character because it seems so fun to play, because she's not an idiot, but she's kind of an idiot. And she's like very taken by Bob, and she wants a romance like in her novel. And so she's like she's romanticizing the relationship. And then she's kind of like, she is taking all of this on. She's taking care of his kids, even though she has no idea how to do that. She's like a self-made millionaire, and yet she lets him walk all over her. And like, part of you is like, what the hell? Stand up for yourself. Kick him out. You don't need him. And then later, when she does kind of, she turns it, she does the docu-novel, which is hilarious. Just the word docu-novel. She also like changes her persona, is dressing in like not the pinks anymore. And she changes her voice in the interview. She's like, what does she say? I can't think of what she said, but she all of a sudden has this deeper voice, and it's very like breathy.
She does an interview with Sally Jesse Raphael, and Sally Jesse Raphael is sort of dancing on the fact that her last book was not successful. She's like, your last book, and Mary goes, was a complete and utter flop.
Flop.
I mean, everything that Mary Fisher does is like sort of put upon. It is not real. Yeah. And so she talks, especially when you first meet her, she talks in this sort of breathy way, and sort of drops in French things all the time. Absolument. Very gallant. She's absolutely deranged. She's great. She talks in what my brother would call her natural voice, because it's coming through her sinuses. It's very weird. I love her performance. It's all put upon and then all calculated. You're absolutely right. It is very odd that she is this self-made millionaire, as you must assume she must be. But when Bob comes along, she is like enamored of him, and is sort of thrust into the wife role by Ruth's actions, and Bob being a dick and not helping with his own fucking kids. So she sort of starts to collapse a little bit.
Tries to do laundry, and then writes a book about trying to do laundry.
Amazing. People can somebody get the goddamn door is another thing that me and my brother like to say. Because that's, I think, the first time when the breathy voice gives way to her real voice.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're very observant. I only noticed for the first time this viewing that the pinks start to disappear.
Yeah.
The pinks become paler and paler, and then all together disappear by the end of the movie. In fact, when her and Bob go to meet their lawyer, she is in white with, I mean, I love her outfits in this movie, but especially this one. She's wearing a white tam on her head with a black ribbon with white polka dots, and then a matching shirt, black with white polka dots, with a white suit. Delightful. But like the pinks slowly go paler, because at the beginning it's like real magenta pinks, and then it slowly goes paler and paler until there's no pinks. And in the interview with Sally Jesse, she's wearing navy at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it.
Love it. Meryl, I mean, it's really kind of, even though this is kind of a schlocky, campy movie, like I still feel like she has some thought into who this character is.
Yeah.
I just remembered her when she's typing on her Zenith laptop, and she's trying to come up with like metaphors for nipples, and she's like, he reaches for her nub is the first one she comes up with, because Nicolette is playing her radio really loudly and she can't concentrate, and she's like, no, not nub, and we watch her delete it, and she's like, buttons. And she tries that for nipples, and then she puts her wrist in one of Nicolette's chewing gums that she put on the table, and has to go yell at her. Delightful.
When Bob first drops her off at the home, and they're kind of like in this throes of what will be passion. You know, he's like, this house is fantastic, and she's like, you should see my electric bill, and he's like, I'd love to. It's like she's talking sexy to him to show a bill. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, it's not surprising to say Meryl Streep is good in this, but I think I maybe underestimate like how like what she can bring to even a role like this. You know what I mean? Like this is not, and it's not like there's incredible pathos or that's like super deep, but it is like it's layered. It feels very over the top, but also like
it's delightful. I was gonna say it's very over the top, but like again, like she knows what movie she's in, and so she really plays it up.
And she feels like a romance novelist, like she's pretending to be a character in her novel. I love it. I think it's great. And we did skip a favorite character. We touched on Garcia, but Garcia is her butler.
Right, and possibly like kept man who lives in there and fucks was like her whenever she wants.
Live in Love. This is played by A. Martinez, and I love him. I would not put him over Meryl, but we just skipped over him. He is my. I don't know if I can give him Catherine O'Hara because like it's got to be Meryl, right? But it
feels like it has to be Meryl. But go on.
But I love Garcia in this. He's very funny. At first, he's just kind of like. You know, he's got the live-in lover, pool boy vibe, and then he's mad because Bob's around all the time. He's just kind of living nothing. He doesn't really even buttle anymore.
He doesn't even fuck anymore.
And then he's kind of grossly picking up the Nicolette, and that's gross.
Right.
But
she does try to get him to do the laundry at one point, which I love. Yeah.
And at one point, he's like, phone call. He just like screams it.
When he gives up. When she tries to get him to do the laundry, she's like, what are you doing, Garcia? And he's like, I don't really know. I can't perform my usual services.
Yeah.
And then she tries to get him to do the laundry.
And he drops off like snacks of Yoo-Hoo.
Tea time, Yoo-Hoo. And it was like, was it Cheez-Its? Oh, no, spray cheese and crackers.
That's what it was.
Spray cheese.
Also, I really love the way that reporter says, like, yoo-hoo. Like, she doesn't know what it is.
She's checking it. Making a note. That was Deborah Rush. You might remember her as Jerry Blank's stepmom in Strangers with Candy.
Yes. It was great. I'm ready to verdict this, but I'm trying to think if I have anything else here. We got to
I do want to say some things. One of the things...
Sorry, Garcia's the way. So he's mad at her, and he's floating on a floaty in the pool, and she asks. I think that's when she asks him to do laundry or something, and he just slides off. It's so good.
As a kid, I couldn't tell. Like, I assumed it was an accident, like him just being an idiot. But I think it's just him avoiding the conversation. He slides off his floaty and goes underwater.
Looking at her like with an attitude, like no. It's very good. Sorry, please continue.
I did want to. This viewing, I noticed how ugly both Mary's and Ruth's house are. Mary's is just ugly and like, is this what 80s like wealth looked like?
Yeah.
Or maybe the budget of the movie was like, this is the best we can get towards
nouveau
wealth.
Riche.
Absolutely.
Sure.
There's a lot of like lattice work indoors, which confused me. But Ruth's house is absolutely insane. There is a wallpaper. It is taupe, magenta, and royal purple in really kinetic zigzags pointing up. So it's really frenetic. And then it has like those tile that you would see at a Wendy's, you know, that sort of terracotta colored tile.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is
the arabesque
ugly.
shape.
It feels very like purposefully ugly. Because there's that scene when Bob's packing and telling her, these are my assets, you're my liability. There's I kind of love it in that it's so purposefully ugly. She is sitting there in the foreground in blue light, just sort of staring out the window, and she's coated in this blue light. And then behind her is the bathroom door where it's this almost like mint ice cream color green coming out of the bathroom, illuminated. And then the rest of the room is this tacky ass wallpaper. And I'm like, what is this scene? What is this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's the first time it caught my eye, just how ugly her house is. Delightful. I'm glad she blew it up in a way. I also like when she pulls the when she's putting all the stuff into the washing machine, like all the spray paint cans and stuff, she pulls down the utility light and just puts that in the washing machine as well.
Speaking of washing machine, the way that Mary washes the clothes is by just dumping bleach into it. like 3 cups of bleach, and then she gets like a bolt of what are those static cling sheets, dryer sheets, and puts it in the washing machine as well. And then she slams it on her poor little fingernail. She chips a nail. It sucks. That did look like it hurt.
It did. That looked like it sucked. 2 things. Just really quickly, I wanted to bring up Uta, since you brought up Garcia. Uta is the maid who is really having a hard time with Fuzzy being in the house. Sheet. Fuzzy had to shit all over the carpet. Perhaps Uta will do the laundry and Miss Fisher will clean that up. And then later Uta quits and she says, "Up with this bullshit I will not put. I quit." Which I do like. Up with this bullshit I will not put.
I signed up to take care of one person. One person.
One woman, one dog.
Yeah, I like it.
I do like that she did, as possibly a not native speaker, she did make sure to not end her sentence with a preposition. Up with this bullshit I will not.
It's very important.
Thank you, Uta. Thank you. One last thing I did want to bring up. One of my most quotable scenes is Mary meeting with her publisher. Where she's like, "What is in your hair?" This is after Bob's been there and like Mary's kind of somewhat collapsing. She's like, "What's in your hair?" And she's like, "Oh, it's a gummy bear," and pops it in her mouth. You kind of see like the facade of like Mary Fisher is starting to slide off.
Yeah.
And then we find out she's written this book that is about a married woman, a woman married to a guy named Bob. And while the love scenes are wonderful, everything else is garbage. And there's what is this whole chapter on laundry? And this is another line that me and my brother like to quote where she goes, "It's a metaphor." And she's like, "A what? A metaphor." Which I think is implying that there has never been any literary metaphors in any of her books before.
It's all just literal. It's great.
All right,
when she said nubs in the previous books, she meant actual nubs. Yeah, let's get to the verdict. Let's go.
I mean, if you read those romance novels, there are some like...
It's like all metaphors usually, right?
Well, there was one in the Robin Leach segment at the beginning when we're sort of meeting Mary Fisher the first time, isn't it? It's like after his love nectar was spent, they fell into the drift of split. Oh yeah, when his love nectar was spent, they drifted into the bliss of sleep. Now I have something to say. My mother used to read Harlequin romance novels when I was a youth. Mm-hmm. And the Lord told her to stop because he told her it was pornography. And at the time I was like, "Mom, grow up." But I do get the feeling like, no, I think this is pornography. This is softcore pornography. Just because it's using terms like buttons and love nectar, I think it is kind of pornography.
And, it reminds me once again of the most amazing romantic literary presence of the 90s, which was Color Me Bad. We say, making love until we drown. We can do it.
No, I'm at the age now when I hear doing it songs, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make love until we wake up.
We both wake up. Why were you sleeping? Was everyone consensual? This is important. Okay, let's go to the verdict. Let's go.
I heard a song recently where it was like 7 days a week, 7 different sheets. I'm like, if you think I'm changing my sheets every day, you got another thing coming, Missy.
Even hotels don't do that anymore.
They're like, if you need it, let us know, but we're not doing it.
Listen, we cut some costs during COVID and we realized that we could just keep doing this. So, okay, I'm going first because this is your movie.
Please.
David, this
is a rule we've had.
Yeah, this movie has no business being as charming as it was. It's not perfect, but Your Inner Child is not an idiot. I enjoyed this. I genuinely enjoyed it. Lauren, I did the same thing that you did. Say? Lauren pointed out, she's like, Meryl Streep's in this? Way to bury the lead. Yes, she's correct. Also, she asked a very important question, which I forgot to ask about, which is when did movie credits stop being weird?
Oh my God, I have that. That's my first
credits.
note, which is I miss a fun title card. The title card of this comes up with 2 cherubs, and they're like bringing up like the producer credits and the director credits, and then like flames rise from the bottom, and the title card of She-Devil comes up.
And the music changes. Howard Shore.
Absolutely
friend of the podcast.
Wonderful. I miss a fun title card.
Meryl's great. I liked Ed Begley. I liked the guy who played Garcia. There's some other fun characters. Roseanne Barr does a good enough job. I think you can see that she's kind of the weakest link in the cast, but also her character is like we mentioned, aloof enough or out of it enough that it kind of works. It works enough for the purpose of the film, and it does make me, I think, kind of confused with how much I'm rooting for the character, because I'm kind of like, wait, I should be on her side, but I kind of still don't like her. But it's maybe I just don't like the acting.
Is she a sociopath?
Yeah,
perhaps,
I am,
but a wronged sociopath.
Yes. I'm pro Ruth. I'm 100% on her side. She's vigilante justice. She is the Batman that we all need, that we all deserve. Your Inner Child's not an idiot. I loved it. What do you think?
I am so pleased to hear that, because I am so... This may be one of the movies that I have watched the most, that I have brought from my own childhood to this show. Just because we taped it off HBO in like 1990, and me and Jason like wore the hell out of that tape, as I've mentioned it several times.
Wore the hell out of
I do want to note something. There's a difference between the book and the movie here that I want to note, which is that Mary Fisher dies in the book. She dies of cancer. She slowly goes insane. All her hair falls out, and her castle, which is a converted lighthouse in the book, almost falls into the sea. And Ruth gets plastic surgery to look exactly like Mary Fisher, and to trick Bobo into sex with her without him realizing that he's sleeping with his ex-wife.
What?
I like the movie ending a lot better because it feels a lot more empowering to the women who realize they do not need Bob at all. Like, Mary is sort of a soft villain in the first half, but finds her own empowerment, as you noted. That she is sort of oddly devoted to Bob, who is not the breadwinner in that relationship. And also cheating on her and stealing her money. So I do like the ending where they are both sort of empowered. She's rised up in her career to write, well-respected books, and Ruth is doing her own thing with her. Oh, I forgot one line that I wanted to bring up when she's interviewed by Sally Jesse Raphael. Yes, it has. Sally Jesse says that it's gotten good reviews, and she's like, yes, it has, even from the serious critics. She pushes up her glasses with her middle finger, which I absolutely love. But all this to say, my inner child was not an idiot. I was kind of waiting to see what you would say, because I'm so clouded by nostalgia in this one that I wasn't even sure if I'm like, am I enjoying the fuck out of this movie, or am I insane? It's a lot of fun. It's kind of campy and maybe a little bit low. I don't know if lowbrow is the right word, but it's a schlockier movie, campier movie. Yeah. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a great revenge pick. I do like that you have compared Ruth to Batman, the Count of Monte Cristo, and V from V for Vendetta, keeping this on theme for the podcast. Absolutely delightful. Check out She-Devil. It's fun.
Get it at your local video dispensary, everyone.
Go through the beaded curtain and check it out.
I already gave my verdict, but I want to say that I was pleasantly surprised. Like, usually...
I knew.
Yeah.
It was a 50-50 going in.
Yeah. Because, we don't agree on this type of movie, necessarily. Mm-hmm. And this one got me. I liked it. And, maybe just have more Meryl Streep in it, and that'll help.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to hear that, because even I was on my run today, and I was like, I really don't know how DJ feels about this movie. Because you sent me a few quotes, but like they were kind of like middle down there. Like they could be like sarcastic or like I'm enjoying this.
Right.
And I was excited to see what you actually thought.
It took me a minute too, because I was not expecting. I'm familiar with Roseanne. I'm familiar with like stills from this movie enough that I was just kind of like not expecting much. And so it kind of continued to surprise me and kind of grow on me. And then, it takes a minute for Meryl Streep to be in the movie too. Like, and then she has a more and more of a presence, and that obviously helps a little bit. And then I just, I thought it was great. Sorry, I don't mean to have the last word on
No, I want you to.
What do you think, everybody?
I want you to.
Email us, you're in Trials an Idiot. He's real mad. You're in Trials an Idiot at gmail.com. Text us to leave us a voicemail, 615-576-0525. You can also leave us a review on any of the podcast places. I haven't asked for that in a while, if you want. If you're like,
I've already had a homosexual reach out to me about Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Oh.
Don't worry about it, Deej.
Oh, they mad? They mad about it? Get mad? Get mad? Stay mad.
Use that anger.
Yes, use it.
Good. Can we do the Patreons in our best Mary Fisher voice?
Yes, please. We would like to thank our patrons, including Lindsay Halik,
The Hands of Fate,
Jeremy Powlen,
Josh Frigo,
Dr. Malcolm's Heaving Bosom.
Heaving Bosom would be said by Mary Fisher.
Yeah.
Yes, the Zesty.
Dramatically placed hot dog.
Caroline Amberson.
Zachary Hartley.
Beth Surmont.
Hizoner the Mayor.
Bill Haynes.
Jonathon Day.
Larissa Maestro.
The supreme ruler of this podcast.
Little Miss, yes, Chicken Nugget.
Stu-StusStuartJ.
The Elusive fan Gromkin.
Tommy Boy is Damon's favorite movie.
Lindsay Nell.
Jackson.
Shit on the Cartouche.
It had the cadence of a joke.
T. Smith.
Now we're just doing NPR voices.
It does feel like we're getting smooth and smarmy, but what's the difference really?
Yeah. Karen Kurd.
Travis Vance.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Holiday classic. Jingle All the Way.
Tippy Von Cheerily.
And Particle Man.
Thank you all very much. If you want to support the show, like patreon.com/yourinchildsandidiot and help us make more show.
Let's make more show.
Devil in disguise. Also, that song's a bop. That's a great.
That song that is a good song.
It's a good song to add to your Halloween playlist. FYI, it belongs
because
in
it
ours.
has the devil.
It's a great one. It's got the devil in it. It's still bop. You don't have to like always be minor. You know what I'm saying? Love it.
You don't need chains rattling and werewolves. Sometimes you just need a movie that
the
mentions
woo and the
Beelzebub.
ghosties and the whatever. Yeah, she devil.
Keeping their evil in check.
Hey, we didn't really talk about deviled eggs. You want to get into that?
Ooh, I'm an anti-deviled eggs guy. Here's the thing about old Damon. Here's the thing. I have some persnickety things about eggs. I do not like cooked yolks. I don't like when yolks get hard. So like when we have hard-boiled eggs at Easter, I would play the egg game and then hand the egg to my father because I'm like, this is gross. Now, dippy eggs, I love dippy eggs, and I know that's also controversial. Usually it's the other way around where people do not like
usually my nickname
yolks.
for you.
Not since college I haven't done a dippy egg.
Old dippy eggs.
But that is my thing. And a lot of times at restaurants, I will err on the side of like undercooked rather than overcooked. So I'll be like over easy, even though at home I make them over medium where the whites are completely set. Because if I get them even the slightest bit custardy in there, I'm out. So deviled eggs, in short, not so short.
Well,
I don't like deviled eggs because it's the cooked yolks.
I generally agree with you with hard-boiled eggs, and I think they're kind of gross in general, except with a good deviled egg. There are bad deviled eggs, like that are just kind of like bland, and they get kind of like, but like a good deviled egg, I could eat 1,000 of them, and I don't know why.
1,000 halves, which means 500 eggs?
Yes,
or
500. I'm not a monster, Damon, okay?
You know your limits. 500 deviled eggs.